What is going on, guys? Sonic and the Bean Show here. Today we're looking at the brand new Super Mario 4-inch action figures from Wave 32 by Jakks Specific. Finally was able to get a hold of these guys. It feels like it's been some time now since this wave was first revealed, but I am looking forward to what we got going on here. So these are the 3 new figures in this wave. So the Fire Mario is really just a repaint of like the recent new Mario figures we've been getting, like the Ice Mario on Wave 30. This is actually a whole new figure. We got a brand new Builder Luigi figure. And then we got Dry Bones, which, you know, it's really just Dry Bones, but without the holes in the back to make it like a pair of bones. So this is just if you just want a standalone, like, Dry Bones figure. But let's take a look at the Fire Mario figure. So it comes with the Fire Flower. And this is how Fire Mario looks in the packaging. Here is the other side. Bio read. It has 13 points of articulation, and then these are the other figures in this set. So that's Fire Mario. Here is Builder Luigi. As you can see, he got the utility belt along with the hammer right there. So that is really nice. Man, this figure looks pretty good. Turn it all the way around, we get a render shot of the figure. Bio read to the side here. 11 points of articulation. Then we got the other figures right there. And then finally we got Dry Bones, which I'm pretty sure everything's probably going to be about the same. So Dry Bones comes with the coin. Here is the back of the packaging. And then 14 points of articulation. And again, the other figures we've already seen. So that is the packaging right there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack these guys out of the box and take a closer look. Okay, so the first figure we're going to be looking at here is Fire Mario. So even though this is really just like a repaint, you know, similar to like the Ice Mario figure, I will say the paint on this guy is pretty clean, especially, you know, since we're dealing with white paint this time. So like, you know, for the hat, it's actually really well done. It's not like there's any like paint smudges around to where the hair would be at. There's no brown or anything like that. It's pretty good. Even like, you know, where the Mario symbol is, the top of the hat right here. I tried to like adjust the lighting since we're dealing with a lot of like white paint and plastic really, but it's pretty clean so far. Even for the hair, it's pretty nice. The torso, it seems pretty fine too, you know, like mixed with the red in. It's pretty good. I'm actually happy that you know, there's not really anything that's bad going on here. And then like the white molded plastic for the arms, it seems okay. For the white paint on the torso and the hat, it may not match perfectly, but it does look okay along with the gloves. So yeah, I mean, it still looks pretty good. You know, obviously the face and everything else is still the same articulation wise. So, you know, I'll bring in like this Mario figure right here, and then I'll bring in the Ice Mario figure from like Wave 30. So you can see, like, you know, this is really the same thing, just repainted really. And, you know, like I said, they're probably going to do the same with some other like power-ups and molds that they'll probably be doing, but articulation is still the same way. You get a head turn right there, which really just goes left to right really. For rotation to the arms, you got your single jointed elbows along with a hinge to the shoulder, rotation to the wrist, and then coming to the hips. Kicks forward about here, back about there, single jointed knees, and then, you know, the feet's really just on a ball peg. So you get a rotation out of that. So you have that going on. And then to the side, not so much. So yeah, same way as the other Mario figures you're getting for the articulation. And that's pretty much that. Now, the skin tone is still something that I'm not really a fan of. The skin tone is still like kind of like pinkish in a way. And I'll actually do another comparison. So here is the older Mario figure from Wave 3, right? So here's that, and then here is like the SH Figure Arts Mario right here. So you can see like the skin tone for like the SH Figure Arts is, I think I still like the skin tone for SH Figure Arts more. The one from Wave 3, I felt like the skin tone was just a little too like orange, and it's like a tint of like peach and orange in a way. This one is still slightly better, but it is still a little like pinkish in a way. But the SH Figure Arts I thought was actually fine. Mine got like a black smudge on the nose, but yeah, you can still see how the skin tone is compared to these, and even like the paint to these guys as well. Yeah, that's just something. It's similar to like the new Peach figure where like the skin tone was just a little bit more pink. So it seems like that's happening with like the Mario figure as well, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad. Well, actually, I think Peach, her skin tone was like a little bit more yellow, if anything. But yeah, that is how these guys scale. And then the accessory, you do get the fire flower. So yeah, you know, we've gotten these a bunch of times now, but you got the fire flower for this Mario figure. I actually forgot to do one more comparison, but here is the new Fire Mario figure with the Fire Luigi figure. The next figure we'll be looking at here is Builder Luigi. Now this one I'm pretty excited about, especially since it's been like since wave 11 since we first gotten the Builder Mario figure. So this is really nice to have a Builder Luigi figure. Speaking of Builder Mario, here he is next to Builder Luigi right here, just to give you a quick comparison how these guys are. This Mario figure has really loose legs. It's been a while, you know, since I've had this figure, but look at them. They look pretty nice, man. Now at some point I really want to see, you know, now that we got like Builder Mario and Builder Luigi, I would love to see both of them in like their doctor uniforms, like Dr. Mario and Dr. Luigi. That's something I really would like to see for the most part. I really want to see that. But the Builder Luigi figure, there are some different things compared to the Builder Mario figure that we will get into. Not a whole lot. It is really the same way as Builder Mario, but there are just some small little things that are different. So the helmet is actually pretty well done. It's the same way, you know, you got like the L, you know, Luigi symbol right there. This thing right here, this is really a soft plastic that's holding up the head, so just kind of be careful with that. But that is there pretty well. The paint around the eyes, and then, you know, like the eyebrows, the mustache, that all looks really good. The hair is actually a darker brown this time, because sometimes in the older Luigi they were kind of like a little bit lighter, but they are a darker brown here. And then the yellow, now the you know, the molded plastic for the arms, they're not really gonna match the yellow here. The buttons are painted pretty nicely. You got the utility belt here to the side. Now the utility belt is actually molded onto the figure. It looks like it's molded from the front and then the back. It's not really going to be a floaty piece, similar to like how Mario's was. As you can see from Mario, I was able to like move it. See, I could like take it off if I really wanted to, but for Luigi, I can't really do that. It's actually on to the figure this time. So there's that. But you know, you still got the same like pouches to the back and everything like that. You got your holster for the sledgehammer right here, which is, if I can try to grab this, but you have the sledgehammer right there. You can see the Luigi symbol molded in there. And of course you can put that into the holster right here. So let me just try to do that. And there you go. As you can see, it will get in the way when you want to do like a hinge. You just have to move it a little bit, and then you can have Luigi put his arm a little bit down. So look at that. That looks really nice. If you want to take it out, I definitely recommend doing it from the bottom, because you don't want to like try to, you know, bend it or anything like that. So let me just take this out right now. Of course, you have that hole to put the hammer into Luigi's hand. Now what's interesting is that they gave him the old like leg mold right here, so it's really weird that they did that here. So because of that, you're not really gonna have any ankle articulation, because the shoes is actually molded onto the pants. So here is a comparison to the other Luigi. So look at the difference with the legs right here, as you can see. So that's very weird. I'm not entirely sure why they did that, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting right there. I don't know. So yeah, just keep that in mind right there. Now for the articulation, you can actually move Luigi's head, which is nice, because from Mario, it was really like difficult. For Mario, it was like I could barely move the head. I'm not sure if it was just because of this thing, which I doubt it is. It looks like it's not really in the way, but it could be because of that. But for Mario, I could barely turn at the head. But Luigi, it's actually pretty nice. I like that. There is a full rotation to the arms. Hinge to the shoulder goes up about here. You got your single jointed elbows. Swivel to the wrist. And then coming on down to the hips. Kicks forward. Not so much, you know, since it's like the old leg mold, there's not going to be a whole lot to really kick forward or back. You still got your single jointed knees. And then there is no, you know, ankle articulation there, because it's molded onto the pants. And then this is how much you can go out to the side. And that is pretty much the articulation for Builder Luigi. So for some comparisons, let me move this hammer out the way. Here he is with, you know, just the regular Luigi figure. Now, one more thing I want to mention about the skin tone yet again, it's still a little too pink. Let me actually zoom in a little bit more, but look at the skin tone on this one, and then look at it on the Builder Luigi. This one is still a little too pink. As you can see, I'll even bring in like the Fire Luigi figure, so you can see the difference with these. This one looks a little bit more lighter though. I don't know what's going on with the skin tone on these figures, but this one is a whole lot pink. I don't know if it's picking up that well on camera, but in person, you'll definitely see the difference there. It looks like the plastic is a lot more shinier as well compared to these guys. So since I got these guys here to the side, let me put them all, you know together. So we got Luigi, Fire Luigi, and then there's like Cat Luigi right here. So there you go. That's how they all look. Alright, and finally we move on to dry bones. Now there's not a whole lot to really talk about here. The big difference really is just that there's no holes for the shell to make it into a pair of bones. So let me actually compare it to the older one right here. So the paint, it still looks about the same. It may be a little bit different in some areas, but everything else looks about the same. But you can really see it in the shell. You can see like here, it's a little bit darker compared to this one. This is like a little bit lighter, but it just doesn't have the shells, or the shells, but like it doesn't have the holes here to make it into a pair of bones. So this is just if you want just a regular standalone dry bones instead. I think some people do like this idea where you can just change into a pair of bones, so that way you can just put the wings in, but if you want a regular one, you can just take the wings out. So I wouldn't blame you for skipping this one, but you know, again, this is really just if you don't really want that at all. So that's the only difference. It's very similar to what they did with like like the Koopa Troopa, where they just took off the holes, so you didn't want to have it like a Paratroopa. Very, very similar to that. So these how these two look. Here is like a pair of bones. That's usually what I was doing. I was just having one for a pair of bones and then one with just a regular dry bones. That's pretty much that. Articulation, I would assume, is going to be the same. You have your head turn for the head, but it is really just on a ball hinge, so you can have dry bones look up and down. Of course, you have that hinge for the mouth. The arms, there is a rotation along with a hinge to the shoulder. There is a swivel to the elbow. It's still a little hard to maneuver because I always end up swiveling, the wrist right here for the hands. But that is still there. Then the legs, not much to really kick. Well, actually, it can actually kick forward pretty well. Back, not so much. And then you do get a swivel out of the ankle right there. Of course, you have your full splits for the legs. And that is pretty much that. Nothing going on with the tail right here. But that is the articulation for the dry bones. So yeah, it's really the exact same thing. It's the same thing they did with like the new Koopa Troopa or like the red Koopa Troopa. There's not a whole lot going on with the dry bones figure. And then the accessory that it came with was just the gold coin. So that's all you really get there. Alright, so that is going to wrap up this review on the Jakks Pacific Fire Mario, Builder Luigi, and Dry Bones 4-inch figures from Wave 32. I think the wave as a whole is pretty average. I'm sure the Builder Luigi figure is definitely the highlight here in this set. The Fire Mario and Dry Bones figure are really just variants, so they're quite familiar. I'm just not a fan of the skin tone being pink on Mario and Luigi. That's just really throwing me off. Like, if you look at the back of the packaging, they actually look a bit more accurate compared to when you get the figure in hand. And I know they're not always going to be accurate to how it looks on the packaging, but it is worth noting. But let me know, what do you guys think about these in the comments down below. If you want to pick these up, they are currently available at Target. I bought mine at Big Bad Toy Store though, so I wasn't able to find these at retail. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next video. Take care, my friends.